we were living out our values when they weren't written on paper. And so as we grew as a company, we developed these values. We were already living them out, but they just weren't written on the wall. They weren't put on our sleeves. We didn't project them clearly to the world. And so we have four core values for our company. And the very first one is structure before load. Coming to work with the proper PPE, or a packed lunch when you're working in the middle of Ohio and there's no town around you. That's at its simplest terms.
Scale it all the way down to our employees at any level, and scale it up to our company now and our company in the future with what it's going to be. Structure before load is very important for that. It's how we work and how we do things. So we want to be prepared, and we want our people to be prepared for their role.
So our second company value is love the dirt you dig, and this is essentially how we think. It's very easy to look at this value and say, love the dirt you dig. You actually have to love excavating dirt, right? And playing in the dirt. That's it at its very broad, first face value. But love the dirt you dig means enjoying what you do.
We want you to love what you do, which means being happy with what you're doing in your role, means being supported. If you don't like a particular role, but you love working for the company, then we can make changes to make you happy. We want you to love showing up every Monday morning, glad to be to work.
So our third value is be a good apple. And that is how we act. This is a very famous term. You hear it all the time. Everybody, be a good apple. One piece of a bad apple or one bad apple ruins a whole batch of applesauce. They kind of hem-haw around if they're not super happy with how somebody's acting. And essentially, at the end of the conversation, they say, well, they're not a good apple. And we say, got it. We know exactly what you mean. It's a very simple way to describe somebody's demeanor.
We can find other people that are good apples to strengthen our culture and do the job. So that's one of the toughest ones that we've had to implement, because you have to get rid of people that can do a good job. But when they're a bad apple, that's not good for the company and the culture.
Even when I was too small to have my own office, I had this sign, and it just sat against the wall of my room. And when I got an office, I decided to put up there. And in large words, the sign says, "Go be great." And right under that, in smaller cursive, it has Joshua 1:9. Go be great. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord our God is with you wherever you go. Honest to greatness, our fourth value, came from that sign. Honest to greatness, go be great. We can always deal with the truth. It is much, much more challenging, much more difficult to deal with a lie.
When people deal with our team members and the culture we have that's built upon that, they recognize that immediately, because it's a rare thing in the industry.
But it's really important to know that these values just aren't words on a wall, and they're not words just on our t-shirt. The proof is in the actions that you see in the field, how our superintendents conduct themselves, how our project managers communicate with the superintendents, and how our project managers communicate with the owners.
A small company from Southwest Ohio is getting recognized nationally for what we're doing, and I think that's encouraging for us. That keeps us motivated, and we're already motivated. We already love the industry. It's not going to stop with us. It's going to keep going.